everybody, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 20, Week 4. Today we're taking another look at how to train your Guardian, the Granola team, taking on I Have No Wards and I Must Scream. Last time, the I Have No Wards and I Must Scream team literally just only had a hero for Winx, and the 1v9 did not work out. They better be thanking God by name that Doom only works at the highest tier of Dota, and they just nerfed him again. Let's see what happens this time.
Ban.
Big underscore Al 1490 just deployed their very
Well, we
first.
start out with a sub.
10 seconds remaining.
So super duper shoutouts to Big Al for the sub. As I said last time, couldn't do it without those guys this season. And that is going to give you a month of no ads, so look forward to that.
Radiant team ban.
And they do
Identical
indeed
first bands.
first phase the Void Spirit again. Band's pretty much looking the same
10
so far.
seconds remaining.
I think they are identical.
Radiant team ban.
They are definitely identical.
I think they banned the Lich later first phase last time, but
10 seconds remaining.
they did get the same
5
pick order.
seconds
I believe
remaining.
Granola was the first to pick last time as well.
Radiant team ban.
Interestingly, they're going to ban out the Axe. They saw
That
that
they
as
just
the biggest
beat.
problem. And I think that's
10
probably
seconds remaining.
fine. The Axe is definitely felt like outside of Dusa,
5
which is,
seconds.
you're not going to ban out
Team
Wings. He has
back.
too big of a pool for that, really. You're just going to not let him get like an insta-win hero. That's really the metric with a guy like that, or like Gundam, I think. You're
10
not going to just
seconds
ban
remaining.
out the entirety of like Gundam's pool. You can get him down to like
5 seconds
not having a
remaining.
hero where he insta-wins. But he's going to have something. I think you're definitely barking up the wrong tree if you're going to try and ban out his whole roster. But, well, they banned out the DP too. Even though
Dire team pick.
they picked it last time, but Doughboy has arrived since game 1, so.
Radiant team pick.
Picking up the Jakiro first.
Dire team ban.
Gonna get matched with the Shaman, one of the few times it slips through. It is interesting, the Shaman does have like a pretty close to 100% PB this season. We were talking about Hero of the Season during the downtime. The people on YouTube saw that as we started. Shaman is like close. Shaman, I believe, is
10
like
seconds
very nearly
remaining.
100% PB this season. I think maybe 1 or 2 games he doesn't have at least one of the two.
5 seconds
But he
remaining.
doesn't have that stellar of a win rate in the actual league, so it'll be interesting to see if that
Dire
changes
team
this time.
ban.
Hollywood bans out the Witch Doctor, probably the right call. That felt very nasty for them last time. You had the problem with maledicting the Deuce a couple of times, but
10
like
seconds
some of those
remaining.
ults were just gigantic. It felt like any fight that did not start with the
Radiant
Witch
team
Doctor getting
back.
snuffed out like an old cigarette, the Hollywood team just got completely run over. So
Radiant team pick.
ban out the Necro. So for the most part, more of the bans than not for Granola are the same this time, but gave a ban out to the Axe, the DP from the last game, even though they
10
picked the
seconds
DP.
remaining.
Gave a ban out to those two heroes this time.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Gonna steal the Undying pick. Gonna take that from Hollywood here, who's likely eyeing that at least a little bit. Has a Murano open if he so chooses, has the Clockwork open
10
if he
seconds
so
remaining.
chooses. Clockwork, not a terrible idea for them to
5
pick up in
seconds
general on the
remaining.
Hollywood team, I don't think, at this juncture. I think it just a nice hero to have, and it combos pretty well with the Jakiro, I think, so.
Dire team pick. Mirana.
Oh, they're gonna pick up the Murana instead. That was open, so Hollywood took the chance. It is a nice... Right now, last game, they had the situation where the Witch Doctor got to get away with a lot of things because the Hollywood team was kind of
10
light on
seconds
CC at the end of the day. This time, definitely none of that. Gonna have 2 supports
5
with very
seconds
long-range
remaining.
CC this time, so... I mean, you know, they had, I think, what in total? The CM Frostbite, which I don't think stops it, the Skywrath, Rod of Atos, which definitely doesn't stop it. You had the Witch Doctor ult, I mean, when I say it. But, so two things that weren't real stuns. You had the Axe Call, and you had the
Radiant team
Medusa
pick.
ult, as often as that is. And this time, on just the exact opposite side of the spectrum, you have the Jakiro CC, you have the Mirana CC, you have the Wraith King CC, Leaf. No, not Leaf. The Maceless Void is so tired of
10
these heroes.
seconds remaining.
You should have been here last time, Maceless Void, because literally 0 of those 4 heroes were in
5
game 1.
seconds
So.
remaining.
That's the Maceless Void who's joined us in chat. They, in LD2L, they call him the question mark, because nobody knows who the hell he is. Or she, I mean, you never know. Deke, you've been awful quiet since our last album dropped. What do you think of this so far?
Not sure how I like the Mirana. Unless, I guess if
It's
you're
just
spa-
uber
Mirana's
comfort.
Mirrors.
It's his most played hero.
Okay, so then yeah, that's fine.
You see
I still
the...
like the Undying's is super annoying to play into, but you do have some counters with the double attacks from Jakiro, the leap to increase attack speed to take down the tombstones.
Mhm. Yeah, they got pretty good anti-tomb. They got
10
pretty good way to
seconds
dispel the
remaining.
shackles. Seems like a pretty crazy
team
Mars pick to me. A, he's not really good. There's a pick I like. A, he's not really that good. B,
Dire
yeah,
team
Mars
back.
into Wraith King?
It's a feast or famine. Yeah.
Radiant team
With an
back.
OD.
He got his rings, now he lives a life in solitude and anonymity. True. So rings implies it's somebody who's won multiple times, so it's whoever that is. Just look at LD2L history and find somebody who won like more than once. But anyway,
10 seconds remaining.
yeah,
Radiant team back.
I hate this as a Mars game. They did kind of pick something nice for him in the form of the OD. Though that is going to force them to use that that facet to blind the inside of the arena. They don't want that to be like a save. But if Marv into Wraith King makes me cringe. Marv into the Jakiro,
10
that ain't that
seconds
great either.
remaining.
Very easy to ruin the arenas thus far.
5 seconds remaining.
I agree.
Dire
Doesn't feel like
team
a good
back.
Mars game. Playing from behind his Mars also just feels terrible.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to be laying in against Wraith King Jakiro, so at the very least he's probably not going to have a bad game or bad lane phase, and he's got a pretty easy level 6 kill target. The
10
Wraith King is not
seconds
happening.
remaining.
Unless he beats the Wraith King to level 6, which is a possibility,
5
I guess.
seconds remaining.
That first kill on the Wraith King, absolutely not, no. But, can go to mid, get the OD, probably, if he gets a nice jump on him. It would be nicer if they had some more reliable form of CC, because they've got the Shaman Shackles, which are, 1mm range, and they've got the Spear Tree Stun, which needs a tree behind it. So not the most reliable stuns. If they could get like
Nope.
some absolute guarantee that they could get the OD locked up, it is an absolutely done deal. They definitely can still run to the issue where they get the drop on him and he just immediately mashes W with the speed of light and puts himself away.
10 seconds remaining.
Could just wait that out, I suppose, as well. Just wait it out and smoke.
5 seconds remaining.
At the very least, I like the Undying and Shadow Shaman with the arena. Like, if they're able to get multiple people in an arena, which isn't that common, to be honest with you. I think, ever since Collapse picked this hero, he's been cursed to only get one guy in that arena. But, if you get multiple guys in the arena, having the ability to throw the snakes in the tombstone in it, there is that aspect to it. There is that element to it. That is something that's only going to work for so long, but It's nice.
What would you go, the big snake or the group of, like the ring of snakes? Like, would you go the
think,
mass serpent ward?
If you're going to play it just on the arena, probably the
Radiant
mass.
team pick.
I speak for the
Oh, this is Winx's NP.
Oh yeah, they're getting you. I hate this. Why? Why, Winx?
Ten seconds remaining.
Ursa is unplayable into Wraith
5
King. I think
seconds
one of his
remaining.
lowest win rate in the game. I think every time we've seen that actual matchup happen so far in LD2L, the Ursa has won, funnily enough. I gotta tell you, it feels like ever since this Mars pick came out, the Hollywood team has not stopped. They have not ceased to try and pick heroes
Choose
to
your hero.
anti-mage. Okay, they have not stopped trying to pick heroes to throw into that Mars's mouth. Yeah, I do feel like that that matchup might be just the problem of it being like, I think in a more organized situation than like your average pub, Ursa should hold the cards. If you logically think about it, he should hold the cards, right? Because he should be, in a hypothetical good scenario, should be able to just tear down the Wraith King 2 times in a row. I think the problem is that in pubs, it's tough to do that. In pubs, you're not guaranteed to have a team who's going to be in on the idea of like actually prosecuting that out. And if you're just sitting there alone in the middle of 5 enemies when the Wraith King respawns, then it's going to be bad. I think that might be a pub coordination thing. Because in my brain, it should work out better than 41%, you know. Logically, the strengths of the hero should work for that. Anti-mage mid, though, so that's interesting. They've,
Does the counter spell or like the barrier with AM reflect the astral imprisonment on OD?
yes.
It should? Okay. And I like the anti-mage matchup. It seems kind of bad, like range versus melee, but I think Lumix with his pocket pick can do good with that.
It is definitely going to be a situation where I do think the Hollywood team does have the free anti-mage game. They do have the upside in like that early game. If they can get a win in that early game, it's rough for the Dire. It would be a free anti-mage game if it was pos 1 anti-mage, but this is mid anti-mage. And yeah, there's way too much farm on the map, and they definitely should downscale it, honestly. But like look how much greed you got on this lineup. You know, the anti-mage is pos 2. You've got the Ursa.
Prepare for battle.
You've got the Mars, who isn't exactly, you know, a pos 3 that you want to be destitute with, right? There's going to be a lot of thirst for creeps, and somebody is going to get the short end of the stick. And at the end of the day, I don't know how much it matters of what a good anti-mage game it is if every fight Ursa is in the jungle trying to hit more creeps, and these 3 guys are just going to collapse immediately because the Mars is a skeleton, and the supports are probably not going to have a great game, the both of them.
Yeah, I agree. The first 15 minutes are crucial for how it's going to decide the rest of the game. Like if the Dire has a good first 15 minutes, I think it's Dire's
30
game.
seconds to
Yeah.
battle.
Did I have a good 15 minutes? I think the real crucial thing is going to be what happens at the end of LAN phase. If they can bring everybody together and just start roaming around, because they're going to come online way faster. Like, you've got a mid who isn't going to want to fight until, like, 30 minutes, right? Like, never underestimate the feeding power of Hollywood. The power of Hollywood feeding the offlane. Rough. You got
Brutal.
a pos 1 or pos 2 who's not going to want to fight for, like, 30, 40 minutes, you know? Like,
Begins.
are they going to win the right-click contest for the rune? The answer is yes. I mean, it would have been really bad considering Doughboy wasn't even standing on the thing. Anti-mage is really screwed up going into lane here. Kind of an
I've
unfortunate
learned
for
a
him.
fun fact about the click battles. It's not a random click. It's whoever has the lower ping.
Very nice. Shout outs to all the people
Yeah.
who play Dota 2 on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Immortals like literally told me to pull up the ping for everyone that you're going against, and then whoever has the lower ping will win the click every time.
Very
And I don't know how
nice.
to do that.
Shout outs
It
to
is
Dota
insane.
2 netcoding. I would be very confident of the Dire if they had the pause 1 Wraith King and some big fat tanky 3 who's going to survive in the arena, but boy do I hate this guy in this game. I don't like a single thing about Prophet in this game. I was starting to say before the discussion got onto Anti-Mage, it's like, they had this Mars pick that was really bad when they picked it for the Granola lineup, and everything the Hollywood team picked afterward, it was like they were trying to justify it, and this is just like the final straw. It's like, you know, you've gone from you're definitely not going to kill the pause 1 Wraith King at level 6. That's simply not happening. To you are 100% guaranteed to kill the, like, this is the easiest level 6 arena kill of your life. You know what I mean? And as Mesa's Lloyd has pointed out, he also has a pretty rough lane to go on here as well. Though thus far he's pretty much fine. It is, you know, 2 minutes into the game. That can definitely change, but not a good lane for him either. I really don't understand why this wasn't just the pause 1 for the Hollywood team. I think that just makes 10 times more sense. Just have the Wraith King go top, and then have, I don't know, some pause 3 that doesn't suck against her, so I don't think the Sand King is pickable yet, so that's a shame. That's still not happening, but I don't know, maybe you could tempt the fate and go with like the Doom here on Hollywood team, just try to keep these guys doomed out or something. I don't know. Still not that great. Still gonna have a rough lane, but at least it's like you have the Wraith King where he should be. You have somebody who's going to at least conceivably survive the arena. Have the Abaddon. That's a pretty easy one to pick up if you don't already play it. Sucks in Ursa, just terrible, but now if you're worried about the anti-mage, Abaddon doesn't really care about that guy. Wraith King is going to die here. Might have a trade for... Okay, nope, not if the Blood Grenade falls down here. In fact, Ursa's gonna get a double. Ursa gets the double here.
Pathing, that feels so bad.
Yeah. I'd really like to shout out this area, and you know, while we're thinking about it, this area up here too has some awesome pathing as well. Good lane switch. Thank you. Thank you. I tried. They did not switch out the lanes though. Yeah, this would definitely be better to have him down here. Honestly. It would be a lot better this game for the Nature's Prophet to be down here, and maybe for the Nature's Prophet to have lower farm priority than the Wraith King, who is the strongest hero they've really got in this matchup, the guy who has the best looking game in this matchup for various reasons, and is not playing that game for some reason. Very confusing. Rough mid so far for OD. He's matching in the last hits, but look at these bars, and you can tell it's going to be a rough few minutes for OD coming up here, unless he's able to get his supports out too. Imagining they flex Wraith King after draft. Okay, it's a fun thing to imagine. Here's a question: why? Why on earth would they do something like that? What would possess you to do this?
I mean, I've never seen Winx play Wraith King, but I guess a good time to start would be now.
I mean, how hard is
It's easy. It's easy to pick up, but
you could definitely play Wraith King having not played him before and just watched other people play it. It's just one of those
Right.
things. Like the hard part is puzzle and basics. The hard part is not like the hero. I mean, at this juncture, just have Purple Moon Jelly be one for a match, right? Anything is better than this. Oh well. And there's so many potential fun guys. Like, they could have had, I don't know if he's, like, particularly good right now. They could have had, like, the funny Brewmaster down here. I doubt Purple Moon Jelly plays that guy. The funnier Brewmaster down here, that's always a laugh. Man.
Last hits.
Pretty much just universally favoring Radiant right now. Not by much.
Yeah.
The Anti-Mage is doing, in particular, is doing really no better than the Wraith King or the OJ. But this might be a big turn here. They've got the OD pretty low. Lumix does not want to risk the rest of his mana pool really dedicating himself to this. Yeah.
Not too many kills going on. Feels pretty slow paced right now.
Mm-hmm. That's really to the Radiant's favor. Yeah, I just don't know, Maceless. That's what I was talking about earlier. In fact, I said basically the same thing you have like 3 times. Again, I'm not really sold that the 40% matchup is really translates to LD2L. I think that really is just a it's bad in pubs when you have nobody on the mic there. But it's like a winnable matchup. It's not really worked this Winks. It's not really worked this season, but it's definitely worked before at the very least. It's great into the 3. It's not bad into the 2, and I'm going to be complaining about it the entire game if Hollywood doesn't win. And I just, oh, the thing they replaced it with. I haven't complained about this enough yet. Like they replaced it with a guy who sucks into all their cores. They replaced it with a guy who's food for the Mars, who's going to get blown up by the Anti-Mage, who is against an Ursa, who literally has like the ability to, even if he gets rid of his Quelling Blade, can just jump out of the stupid trees. I mean, like, you jump out of his stupid trees, who eats his saplings. Not like he has like the King Sapling anymore, sadly, but. Or the Treant, rather. Not like he has the King Treant anymore. That would just to make it even better. That would be. I just don't get it. Just a strange drafting decision. And thus far, he's had the freest lane in the game. Like
58 last hits at 8 minutes. It's pretty darn good on the Ursa.
Winx is a pretty okay. The Anti-Mage has gone down here. Let's take a look at this happening. Does he just die? Oh!
Oh.
He just doesn't hit the W's in time. I like how Hollywood goes for the high five, even though he actually missed the arrow on the Anti-Mage coming out of it. But there's that. Even with all that, I want to say they still have the early game advantage, and they still have the ability to take over the game and knock things over, like, you know, between 15 to 30. The Nature's Prophet makes me wonder, man. I don't think this guy's even good into these people early. Definitely not good into the Mars early. He's gonna have to be very careful, like, one level from now. He's notable. He has not really been able to land against him that well. He's close to top for last hits, but then so is the Mars. It's just been 2 guys who've just been hitting creeps, and I think that works in Mars' favor. Here he has finally hit 6. So if they get like 1 shackle on the Furion, he's just dead.
Dire's middle tower
Is what's going on here right now. So probably the best course of action for Furion is to try and leave at this point, and he might. Definitely be a good time for interdiction, but no such thing comes
just
out.
to walk out for free.
Actually, cancel some of these TVs coming in here. Just hopeless on the air stuff. They're going to drop the OD jail. Okay, Hollywood. They'll drop the OD jail on the Ursa here. That's a big slow rep. Doesn't do anything though. They did the opposite of the usual combo there. They They used the Murana arrow to set up for OD jail. They're almost certainly going to kill this Undying. He's about to have a very ironic name. We have the trait for instant reincarnate. He does. He's going to be out very quickly here. They had.
And they get the last hit to Winks.
Yep, they had the paradrop from the Nature's Prophet here, who is probably just going to, just knock over this tower. Radiant's not really able to respond to it, so they just beat the top T1 here in kind. They actually dropped the arena on the Jakiro, and somehow are really not able to get him, but at least they were able to get him after the anti-mage showed up and after 10 minutes of beating him, so there's that. It's going to be trade D1 for T1 here.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Or not, they might just keep the tier 1 top alive.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, Radiant's actually just going to back up on this. Or no,
Radiant the
Undying
counter
is,
TPs.
Undying is coming up here at this point, so.
All mine.
And in at least a few seconds, they're going to realize that Dire's just holding back here.
Oh. F's in the chat.
Yikes! This is not the first time I've just panned the camera to Doughboy and seen him start an arena and that happens. You gotta get off that dial-up, Doughboy, I'm telling you.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wraith King, Blade Mail first, by the way. He's just walking at bot C2 here.
Yeah, I think
Granola's
the Blade Mail's a good
watching.
choice.
He's TB'd up top here to try and save his tower. We have the
Dire's
big
top tower
snake.
has fallen.
Oh, it's
That
actually
big
gonna
snake does
almost kill
so much
Rada.
damage.
Bonk!
So much damage.
Bonk! Oh my god. Bonk.
The Wraith is gonna die.
He didn't die, but he almost did. Why did you take that?
All that for
Jelly,
like
why?
150 gold.
Yeah. Very good siege weapon. Oh, no, not quite. Hit 6. Let's take a look at the net worth chart. It's pretty close, which favors Radiant, I would
Dire's
say.
structures are fortified.
Wraith King in particular very poor, but then so is the Anti-Mage, which is kind of expected. Anti-Mage is not even going for a farming item at this juncture. He's actually going for Diffier first to try and fight early. I don't think that's
Interesting.
going to work. I mean, hey, crazier things have happened, I guess, but
Murana arrow stuff.
massive soul rip is going to, for the most part, well, no. Massive soul rip is going to get ruined when 2 more TPs come in and the Murana ult is late. 3 for 2 here.
Massive mana void. Despite
Yeah.
or even with the death, that was a lot of damage.
That is, well, the fight's calling it a 4 for 1 trade. It's actually a 4 for 2, but the other kill didn't happen quite in time, and the Wraith King was just a reincarnate, but still, a decent gold swing, probably in favor of Radiant. Is there any brackets sheet or something of such kind? Go to LD2L.GG. This is just group stage. This is not brackets yet. This is not playoffs. So playoffs will start late in July, and finals on August 10th. And right now we're just in group stage proceeding.
Dire's bottom
Looks like a dead
tower is
shaman.
under attack.
Probably they do hit the arrow.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm gonna go on
This-
Lorian. Everything about Shadow Shaman, I can't stand.
Dire's
The
bottom
the hex off your right click, the delaying death for 15
That's
seconds.
dumb. I think Shaman would be fine if they just took that out of the game, honestly. I think he would immediately be, like, totally okay for balance. I don't think you would have to tune down the giant snake. In fact, you could bring the mass snake up to, like, the same power level, really. You wouldn't have to tune down anything else about him. Just get rid of that stupid save from death thing, or at least get rid of it until shard happens, you know?
He's been on my ban list for the last 2 years. Can't stand that hero.
Like, if you didn't have the stupid prevent your death thing until he got shard, I would say that's fine. I think that would mean something. I would be okay
Yeah,
with that.
that's
Having it
fair
just in the
enough.
beginning, I think, is a little ludicrous. Just so many heroes that just accidentally screws with. There are a couple of abilities that just go straight through it, like Reaper Scythe and the Axe Call, for example. 2 abilities that just go right through it, but just enough things that don't. And just sit there and waste your time for just another, what is it, 2 seconds, I think? 3 seconds. Oh,
And
no,
you
1
can still
second.
blink out of it and then heal. Like, the blink out, or being able to blink out of it is insane to me.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
So at least it was something with input cost I could tolerate a little bit more. Going to get Mirana ult here, looking at
Reflect.
going to look at Wraith King getting stunned. This is an arena on just Jakiro. It wouldn't have done anything anyway. No, he doesn't have reincarnate. What? This is crazy talk to try to do this fight without reincarnate. It's kind of working. The anti-major's gonna go down, but that's all that's gonna happen. Hollywood? Did you forget what hero's chasing you? That was awkward. It's 1 for 3, 1 for 4 actually, because Wraith King also just kind of died back here. This is not good.
Reincarnate was on like probably a 5-second cooldown.
Yeah, it is up right now. He just died. So. Yeah, taking things very poorly for the Hollywood team. I think maybe a little just blistered after game 1. Just like a crazy fight to even attempt to take here. Doughboy goes for the quick kill on the Jakiro TPing in. Oh no, OG. I mean on the OD TPing in, he just ended up with the Jakiro. This is just shame feeding. This is just like crazy talk. At least Wraith King has his ult on.
Dire's middle tower.
Cut the
has
losses. Stop it.
It is going to stop because the Radiant's going to walk away. You know, there's something I very often say on an LD2L cast, and maybe you're going to be able to complete this sentence for me. Alright, Tiki. What's the best way to beat an early game team?
Not fight.
Better than that. Very simple. Win early game. And right now, that is kind of what just happened for Granola. They are the later game team. They're facing what would have been the later game team had they not flopped the Wraith King to this guy. Because they did that, I don't know. It's much more of a question mark, especially if he's going to get jumped by the anti-mage and the Earth. But
Yeah, that feels bad.
they are the later game team, but this team is allowed time on the map. I mean, they're just invariably gonna drop the hammer on you, right? And they're up 4K at 20 minutes. Like, this is when the Hollywood team should have been able to be like 5-manning and running people over. But instead, they're just kind of like getting back, trying to catch their breath very desperately, and that is good, better than just continuing the bleeding more. They're just chain feeding in. They're really, I think they're just morale busted after game 1 and after what happened last week. I mean, it's just not good looking. Oh my god, Doughboy had detection. There's a first time for everything. Going to pin
Not
the
gonna have any
Wraith
mana
into a
for
tree.
reincarnate.
Nobody else has. Oh no. He decided to reveal himself. You've got a good Jakiro ult in the middle of the arena here, so there's that. Needs better counsel, is all I'm saying. A little too little, a little too late. 4 for nothing here, as Radiant's advantage goes to 6K. 2K net worth swing, about 2,500 gold. Swings towards Radiant here. It's looking bad for Hollywood. Looking bad for Hollywood. Really, Hollywood should be giving up, if he loses this, he really should be giving up his Snoopy avatar on Discord, but he decided not to do that, for some reason.
Yeah, I saw that bet, and then is there a little history behind that, or was that just friendly banter?
They both have Snoopy avatars. There's no real history because Granola has never, like, Granola is, he might as well have dropped in from the moon. That's about as much attachment as he has to the LD2L community. There's like one guy here that knows him, and he didn't even draft that guy. So.
Okay.
Definitely no beef. Definitely gonna miss that arrow. Definitely just gonna run over the hero.
Yeah, I'm a little newer to the Discord server, so I can't tell if there's like actual beef or not. So that's
no,
why I
it is just as simple
look at
as this.
everything.
Hollywood has always had the Snoopy avatar on Discord. Granola is new and also has a Snoopy avatar on both Discord and Steam, notably. Hollywood just has like a goldfish on Steam. I mean, honestly, I know Granola himself said the bet was off and everything, but like, if he doesn't switch his avatar on Discord, I am probably gonna refer to him as a weenie in future casts. Because he definitely made the deal, and then looks like he's going to get 2-0'd at this point. I really don't know. I mean, that just happened off screen. That just randomly happened off screen. Because he got junked in an arena, which actually works on this guy, right? Like, oh, he just put himself into. Oh, that was the thing you were asking at the beginning of the game, Tiki. He just put himself in
There we
jail
go.
on the OD.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
An awkward spot for this ward. Didn't really get anybody killed, and is not going to help the push here on the top D2. But that's not going to matter when everyone just TPs to bot. Not even going to try and defend this.
Yeah, this is the dead tier 2 top, it looks like.
Yeah.
With the siege cannon too.
Yes, the siege cannon.
Or siege grape.
The gunpowder catapult. Catapult. It is a cannon bolt, I guess, if it has gunpowder.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
This is one of these analog siege weapons, I'm afraid. Though it would be canon if it was like the bug. The bug is definitely canonical. So there's that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The worst sentence anyone's ever said. Anti-mage nearly at Mantis style. Looks like they're gonna go do Tormentor here. Definitely a good time for Tormentor. It's gonna go to one of your supports. Both these guys have pretty good shards, so.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, it's going to go to the Shadow Shaman to make his already annoying death avoiding thing a little worse. Going to take the Twin Gates. We're going to take the Twin Gates here to try and get a flanking maneuver on the Dire guys here. They're only going to run into hero. Really not do that. Nope, never mind. They're going to unintentionally just kind of crash into each other here and do that. We'll ignore
That's
the
a big
fact-
whiff on the spear.
We'll ignore the fact that he missed both the arena and the spear, because they still got the 2-for-0 trade anyway, and are now going to get this bottom T2. Yeah, this is just a nightmare. Oh, goodbye, Brave Tank.
From bad to worse.
Yep, just doing this GG jungle, the real pause one. Queuing up a Radiance is not done at 22 minutes, and it's not going to be done anytime soon at this rate.
Well, you gotta queue off that. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's too late, my friend. It's 23 minutes, it's 22-6, it's a 10k net worth lead. This is going on. You cannot be queuing the Radiance at this point. Oh, man.
Radiant's
Visions
top
of a
tower
world
is
where they
under
had a
attack.
pause 3 that could, like, fight early pretty well, and, they had a P1 that didn't scare me with its inclusion in this game. Like, visions of a world where it swings on the Wraith King P1, who looks like just such an easy Wraith King
Radiant's top
game.
tower is under
As a
attack.
P1, not as a P3, that's for sure. Such an easy puzzle and Wraith King game. Just gets to go farm whatever he wants and then just smash people to bits. There's no real stopping him once he gets that shard. Imagine the world where they have the abandon for the arena. Imagine the world where they casting Dota with in-game music on. It's like, oh, that's not very nice. I'm sorry. Arena on 3 here.
Good arena. Again, Ward could be in a better place. It's gonna
No,
go
this
out
time
after 30 seconds.
it was just in the right spot because it allowed him to assassinate the Wraith King.
But it's right between the two towers. Now it's just gonna sit there for 30 seconds.
Radiant's top
Like,
tower
Haley,
is under
come
attack.
kill me,
Dire's
and then
bottom
die to
tower
me.
has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under
Oh,
Find the Mirana here in the back line and just, yeah.
yeah,
Radiant
this
have a
feels kind
20
of over.
Yeah. Now it feels kind of over. This game felt over like 15 minutes. 14k net worth lead, 20
Dire's
kill
bottom tower
lead.
is under attack.
Look at these levels. What's the XP lead look like? You have to look at this for that, unfortunately. 12 level advantage for the Radiant. Sure looks like it. The Wraith King is a lower level than anyone on the or on the Radiant, rather. Wraith King level 11 to the Undying and the Shaman at level 13. You know, I've done this for 3 years now, and this is actually the first time somebody has ever complained about me having the music on. Sorry. The only thing I've ever gotten to complain about otherwise is one of the players isn't here anymore, Coffee Cat. Doesn't like the desert environment, which is one of my 2 environments, so you see it all the time. Very quick Roche. This is definitely going to be the backbreaker. We got Mars I believe calling in BKB here. That's going to be 9-second BKB on the Mars. Ursa has his BKB, 9 seconds. Also has a Battle Fury. Well, not like that's unexpected or anything. The Anti-Mage has finished his Manta style. Is,
Going
looking
for
at an
Echo Saber?
Okay.
Yeah. I have seen him build this a few times.
He's got PTSD from facing the Medusa in the last game.
Despite all the Wraith King going pause 3 and all that, I'm trying to think of what else are they lacking on on the Dire, because they don't have any initiation. It feels like
Yeah, just
you
like
need
I said,
to blink on the Wraith King.
He did cancel the Radiance, went for a Halberd instead, finish the whole thing. I think the biggest thing is, like, they lack more than one hero that's going to survive if they actually get Arena. They lack, here's the big snake. Well,
Perfect snake.
Almost died. Go boy, pops the Arena here, it's going to get just support. Doesn't really matter. Okay, it is going to matter that much. Granola in a very bad spot back here. Going to get rid of the Wraith King. They're both going to reincarnate at the same time. This is only, I'm only casting this like it's going to be competitive just out of be a nice little Hollywood team. Because no, I mean, even though the Granola team is positioned just absolutely insane, just way deep in the Dire base, they don't lose anything for it. They only lose Hero Sages.
Lynx is doing his best to delay the game, cutting the waves. I think it's just a little too late, because you also have the top wave going in.
I mean, luckily he has a wave cutting device that's global.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That is not up 24/7, and it is in fact not up now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant are not going to keep pressing this, because I guess if you think about it, why would they need to? Gonna get back, gonna clear the crap off of this T2 tower. I think it's actually low enough that when Nature's Prophet gets like another item, maybe he could actually probably just come back and kill this thing at a back door, but whatever. Awkward time. I think maybe it would have been better to just let the creeps get like a hit or two on it, just deny it. And they're not gonna be hurting for the map space at this point. It's very hard to see a route for a raid or for Dire to take this game at this juncture. I think it's just going to be the Nature's Prophet has to massively pop off, and the OD has to get some really crazy ults and fights. It's like your that's it. That's your 2 ways you actually win. And both of those things can very easily get ruined because that's 2 squishy guys who can, if the arena is good and on their heads, can very easily just die in an arena. Nature's Prophet, by the way, just got jumped by the Ursa, almost died. Shadow Shaman got jumped by the entire Dire and did die. You gotta take what you can get at this point. That is a 1,000 gold swing.
I trust.
They just killed the pause 4. That's a 1,000 gold swing.
Who is
kind of deep in here? Just solo arena the hero. Really not who you want. 9-second BK. I think it's 8 actually on the Mars. Yep, 8-second BKB on the Mars just to chase these guys out. They don't have any detection. No, Mars. I was talking about how Doughboy had his detection for once. And instead you have lotuses you're not even eating. Doughboy. He just buys a chimney's lotus. Okay, I guess that's one way to fix it. Bit of a shame because I think if he had detection there, then that is basically at least the Wraith King is guaranteed to die. At least reincarnate. And it's the way the Dire was retreating. That reincarnation is tantamount to second death. He's not gonna live no more. Anti-Mage going for the harpoon actually, going to immediately just fix that thing up. Nature's Prophet continuing the assault on the bot wave here. He's gonna even hijack some lotuses. Looking at a butterfly, it's looking a little long to actually get that thing. Why is the Talisman of Evasion like wobbling like that? That's weird. Why is it pulsating? There we go, you bought it. But Basher on Mirsa, Basher Shard.
Is he going Axe?
Yeah, presumably Axe. Yep, Axe
Yeah.
is ready when he wants it. Actually, you can just get that right now. Granola, don't forget your inventory, please. There we go. That's gonna be pretty rough. I don't think he's able to like enrage out of the OD jail, but he should be able to
Radiant's
enrage out
bottom
of
tower
the ice
is
path.
under attack.
I'm sure he's actually able to. No, he is able to get out of Sacred Arrow.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good Axe game.
Yep. Furion is sending the army to attack bot T3, has taken out the T2 down here. Anti-Mage is going to pull out to respond, and it looks like this push on mid here is over for now.
Yeah, this is how Wings plays his NP. Like, even if you're down, like, you can't really catch him that well, and he just drags out the game for probably 20 minutes longer than it needs to be.
And the very nice thing is that even if this game goes on 20 more minutes and is like nothing but good for the Hollywood team in that time, I'm not really sure how they would be able to come back at this juncture. It's just going to take luck and going to take the Radiant screwing up. I think that's where they're really We're going to get 3 in this arena down here, 3 in Undercross. You know, let's see that happening. Doughboy's going to be sad if we don't, I think, so. We have, Ghost starts on the Wraith King. The Dire support line moves in to try and save him. This is a great example of why the Flame Alien Sears is not actually a good idea like it seems like, because he can just, literally he just hits one button that doesn't do any damage to him anymore. I like how he's trying to get the tombstone so he can at least get some gold for his death, but nope. 3 for 0, it's over, right? Like there's
No
no
buybacks, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, this you can see the hero level thing. It is almost linear advantage. The only person who is higher than any Radiant hero on the Dire is the Furion, as a Nature's Prophet. There are only 2 buybacks on the entire board. They're
Radiant's
both
top
Radiant.
tower is under attack. Dire's
Chris is
bottom
picking up the
tower
Nully.
is under attack.
Doughboy pushing out the dead lane.
Dire's structures are fortified.
You do have the ability at this point to just freely go after the top
Dire's bottom tower
lane
has fallen.
if they want. The Dire's actually so far behind. They're all
Radiant's top tower is
very
under attack.
nice. Like Shaman using the big ward on the Wraith King. He has to be careful here. He does not have reincarnate. He just plow right through the OD. That OD is like nothing to this team at this point. Rana falls, gets shackled by the Shaman, and then it's just over for him. Wraith King dies, not even close to reincarnate. He's gonna get one more stun out, gonna get his protest on. And we're once again just back down to a 3v5. The Earth is pretty low.
Dire's
I like
bottom
Barrett
tower
trying to
is
use the
under attack.
mechanism on the Guardian Greaves on the tombstone there. Arena is out on the Furion. Furion explodes. The hero is.
Bottom towers are under attack.
Well,
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Yeah, kind of went how you thought I was going to go after with the Mars pick going into the Furion.
yep. Oh, it was a draft blunder. There's no 2 ways about that. That was a draft blunder. I've mentioned before. I've kind of complained before about how It feels like, for the most part, unless you really screw up a draft, Wraith King died again 5 seconds to reincarnate. He died with 1 second left on it.
Has fallen.
But,
Pain.
Doughboy wants to see how many fountain shots he can block. This is a draft blunder, there's no two ways about it. Well, no, I'm actually going to be a little meaner than that, because they actually... They made a draft blunder, then they kind of misplayed it as well, I think. Like, it wasn't just enough that they had a bad team comp. And like I said, I was complaining about that not mattering enough. Sure as hell mattered this game. It also had to be tied together with a nice little misplay. This I have no words and I must scream lineup was really an early game team, right? You're not gonna it's a fool's errand to try and outscale Ursa, Anti-Mage, and Mars as a lineup. Like, that is a very hungry core trio. Sure, the supports don't scale at all. I guess Undying scales a little, but it is a fool's endeavor to try and outscale that lineup. I don't care what you're bringing to the table. They do have 2 solid cores in the Wraith King and the Nature's Prophet. Those are guys who are going to scale, but the OD is, like, irrelevant eventually. And the Wraith King needs, like, a game to scale, and he's not going to really do that when he has 139 last hits, because he's starving for last hits, because you have, you know, the Nature's Prophet, who is, like, that's some anti-chemistry right there. You're picking a very greedy P3 who's going to need to farm, with a P1 who literally farms the map by accident, right? Like, that's anti-chemistry for you. And for what? For no real impact at the end of the day. 2, 3, and 3, so positive KDA. Negative KD. Let's take a look at the damage dealt, and he did do the most damage on his team. In fact, second most damage in the server. But that he did that, and the price for doing the most damage on his team, second most in the server, was really at the end of the day was really kind of keel-holing the rest of his team. Kind of making sure that the Wraith King was not going to be able to really pop off. Even the OD, I mean, it's not easy to farm as OD when you just got, at any point, just a random chance that God throws his little ball of moss down from heaven right at your camp and takes all the last hits, right? Like, it's not very nice. Yeah,
That's always fun.
I think
Get all the creeps to really low, and then just pushes R and steals all your gold.
you really want to see a Nature's Prophet who's going to play and build like this on a lineup with, like, pretty non-greedy heroes. You don't want to see him with, like, the Wraith King, for the love of God, right? Like, that's a P1 most of the time at the end of the day. Don't forget that, right? Like, I don't know. I think the reality where they have have the Wraith King P1 and have, like, a tanky P3 with some initiation powers who's going to survive the arena. Somebody like an Abaddon, even if he's, you know, pretty bad in the Ursa. Somebody like I don't know, like a Tidehunter probably would be surviving a lot of these arenas, especially if you got some kind of anti-magic damage going on. They
Also, kind of bad into Ursa.
also true, yeah. Yeah, pretty bad in Ursa. Excuse me. I guess that's kind of the problem. Is you had a choice of either picking something that's going to survive an arena or picking something that's going to survive Ursa. I don't think you really get to tick both of those boxes. I don't think there's that many heroes that really do that. Most of the very tanky heroes that are in a survive arena are just not going to survive Ursa. He's an anti-tank gun. He kills, like, conventionally tanky guys, but still.
Yeah,
Like, the Brewmaster, at
I'm
the
gonna
very
put
least, is an option.
Brewmaster would be good, but I don't know if that's a hero that's played that much in LD2L.
Yeah, probably not, but, you know, the Brew, if it was, you know, available, it would be good. If Sand King didn't suck, that'd be good. You know,
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
throw out a hero. The Razor would be good. You steal all the damage.
Razor. Well,
I'm also just a Razor spammer, so
Razor into Ursa is a self-grief. I don't think that's ever actually won an LD2L.
really
But, yeah.
interesting.
It is,
I'll change that.
there we go. The point of the matter is just, like, you really just wanted a Posle and Wraith King. I think the thing is that this is just such a bad Ursa game on every other metric. Like, who cares about him? Who cares if you have, like, the Abaddon into the Ursa? Like, that's bad for the Abaddon. Abaddon into Ursa is not a nice matchup for the Abaddon to have. But you know what? It's, like, livable. It's going to have a bad lane. It's going to get kind of messed up in the course of the game just because Ursa's able to pace out his damage against the guy. But it's livable, right? Like,
Mm.
it's not an insta-loss. And I think that's fine. You have a guy who can survive the arena, a guy who can at least survive against the Ursa. I don't think your initiate is, like, super, because you have so much soft initiate. You really have the ability with Wraith King on P1. You pretty much have the ability to just let him just blink into the middle of everybody and throw a skull. You have so much immediate follow up. The OD, the Mirana, the Jakiro, all guys who can follow up an initiation as small as that. I think pretty well to pretty good success. Um, I just hate the shift so much, so much. Why did he do this, Hollywood? You griefed the game. You lost your Snoopy avatar. And that's all there is to say about that. Anything else to talk about with this match?
No, I think it's pretty well covered.
Played it kind of bad. They played this very cautious. They really played foolhardy very early on. They really wanted the way they were playing. They really wanted a one who they were going to be able to throw into fights haphazardly. Winx was not that guy. Winx did not really. I would imagine most of Winx's damage is going to be from ults, right? Like he did not really participate in particularly much right-click indues. Not even like at the end of fights as a cleanup or whatever, right? They really wanted a death balling strategy to go up against this lineup very early. Pressure strat, they didn't have that. They didn't pull it off. The one time they got close to that is the part where they did it badly and just kind of chain fed. Uh, so that's not very good. That's just a communication thing, right? That's just getting better on the mic. I guess you do have the issue that this team is very built around Looter. They did lose him this game, but I think that's about all there is to say about that. Everything else is pales in comparison, I think.
I would agree with that. Pretty well
If
said.
If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to LD2L.GG today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season unless somebody else quits, but it's not too late to stand in. Stand in's very much needed. I think every game this week had at least one stand in. It is not too late to join in-houses, which are like kind of happening crazily enough in the middle of the season. It is not too late to jump in on queues, which are popping everywhere you look. Go to LD2L.GG today. Follow the link to the Discord server. That's where all the action is happening. Super duper special thanks to all of our subscribers because they are why I can do this season. And we will see you next time for Giraffe versus Ransom's game one only. Hooray!